Welcome back to the Dry Down, the channel here where we aspire to enhance and elevate the olfactive senses through scents, cigars, and wines. Today we will be discussing my favorite next level aromatic fragrances. This will be a conversation about all the fresh herb style fragrances that come in from fresh aromatics to even fougères. I have a list of 5 here today that I'll be discussing. Hope you enjoy this content, and if you do, if you feel like you've been educated or even entertained, I would love it if you hit the subscribe and the notification bell so that the next time I make a video, you will be notified. Okay, first, let's get into the discussion of what an aromatic fragrance is. Most times when we discuss and talk about an aromatic fragrance, we're talking about sage, lavender, thyme, rosemary, basil, and artemisia in some cases. These are wild, field-grown herbs, spices, and florals that elevate the experience of a fragrance, makes it much more livelier, vibrant, comforting, cooling, and even soothing. First, I would like to bring to your attention the Lalique Terres Aromatique, perfumed by Julie Mas. Julie Mas has a great provenance when it comes to making fragrances. Some of her top hits are Armande, and she is also the in-house perfumer for Jayne Blue. Lalique did a phenomenal job with this bottle. It is a lacquered black with glass overlay. It is intricately detailed, nice cap with a crest on the inside, gold, and a beautiful atomizer. That is Lalique's Terroir Aromatique 1905. What you get from this is a super aromatic thyme and lavender fragrance, soothing warm cardamom spice, additional fresh spiced floral powdery freesia note in the heart. It brings a well-rounded, almost a fatty white floral fragrance. It's not indolic, far from indolic, but it brings a freshness with an underlying current that stays throughout the fragrance. It also has a very succulent, sweet, woody tonka bean base that has a fresh Haitian vetiver that is throughout the actual journey of the fragrance. What she did in the top notes for this fragrance, she added pineapple and lemon to give it a great pop along with those sweet notes, and it made it a very special fragrance. A great fougere, a great aromatic, I'm saying fougere, a great aromatic fougere for this time of year. It's wonderful. I like it a lot. I don't hear about it enough. This is, elegance. It is sophistication. It is Lalique's Terroir Aromatique. Next up, what we have here is one of my personal favorites. Second bottle of this fragrance. I'll run through it. It is a very nice woody aromatic. This is Cartier's L'Envol, the EDT edition. It was penned by Mathilde Laurent, and she is Cartier's in-house perfumer. In the early 2000s, she worked under Guerlain, and she made a lot of those B-style fragrances that you see on the market, the refillable bottles. She made plenty of those. She has a very good pedigree under her belt. And when she came into making this, she wanted to add a vibrant and luminous herbaceous aromatic with sweet field honey and citrus. And the melange of citruses that she used is almost bringing in the essence of the Amalfi Coast. You get, I would say, kumquat, grapefruits, lemon, Calabrian lemon, a little bit of lime. There's a melange of citruses that are just, it's not a sweet citrus, it's a bittery cocktail that goes great and harmonizes beautifully with the artemisia note that she used in this. It's an aromatic, and it's a gentlemanly style artemisia that she used. It's not that pungent absinthe smell that smells of alcohol. It is a herbaceous woody tone that she used to elevate the experience in Cartier's L'Envol. It's a great bottle. The bottle, you have a twist top that displays the atomizer. Nicely done, spritz. I mean, when you smell this, the quality is through and through. The pillar of the base accord is a sensual gaiac wood with a powdery musk, and it's a musk that you've smelled in many Cartier fragrances. It's an in-house musk that they use. It's, I mean, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It's a fragrance that you could turn to a signature scent. People will know it's you when you're coming, and they will know that sophistication and elegance is behind the fragrance. That is Cartier's L'Envol EDT. Next, we have what I would consider a cult classic. This is the forever in my collection fragrance. This is Bois d'Argent, penned by Annick Menardo for the House of Dior. This is a woody, ambery, iris, and honey aromatic. The way that she used dry aromatic cypress, and she coated it with a raw honey, almost like she rolled the raw honey inside of a vanilla to make it sweet but not have the honey sweet. And it's a smell that you actually have to get your nose on to understand. To have a dry, mead-like or meal-like honey that has no sweetness, that's an earthy aromatic touch to it that has a hint of sweetness from the vanilla bean. She also used a leathery juniper berry smoky cade accord with iris and patchouli, and the iris in this is more rooty than floral, and that gives it a great backbone and elevates the fragrance to an elegance that can be unmatched by anyone but Dior. It's a musky, sensual nuances all tied together by infamous, what I call infamous, Dior myrrh note. It is, if you reference fragrances like Mitza, which is their heavy, ambery, accorded fragrance, that myrrh note is in this as well, and you can pick it up. It's a very, very well done note. It's an unforgettable personality fragrance. It's phenomenal, and it sprays light, ethereal, and that is Bois d'Argent by the House of Dior, penned by Annick Menardo. Next on the list, we have Montobaco by the House of Ormande Jayne, penned by the master perfumer Jayne. This one here is a crisp, effervescent, and airy, spicy, woody aromatic. And what Ormande Jayne set out to do was to have a series of fragrances that came from the four corners of the earth, if you heard that term before. And she wanted to have a old world fragrance, an Eastern fragrance, a American fragrance, and a Latin America fragrance. And this is the representation of the Latin America experience that she went through in her travels. This is the essence of Latin America. It has a smooth and suave tobacco accord to it. It's an aromatic blend for sensuality and suggestiveness. It's a very, very masculine fragrance that I love to wear in the spring and fall. It's citrus, sharp juniper with sage. It has an opening that is very bright, vibrant, very luxuriously done. You can't pick up many of the notes, but you know that once some of them lay on your skin for a while, you'll know what you're picking up as an essence, but you can't really disentangle any of the notes. He did it so well. It has a floral heart of maybe 4 flowers that from Hedion, I think it had magnolia, rose, violet, and you can imagine those fragrant accords of those flowers sitting on a mountainside, a crisp Argentine mountainside, and that's what you get. Some of the sea salt comes off the ocean, rides up the cool mountain as it passed through those fields of flowers. And that's exactly what you get from this fragrance. It is fucking phenomenal. It's mossy, herbaceous, aromatic. It has textures that are complex, you know, a base of sandalwood, tobacco, and one of his favorite accords, and he picks it and uses it to our favor in Molecule 01, and that is ISO-E Super. Some say it's very heavy in this fragrance. For my liking and my taste, it is not. I pick it up as an experience that helps the fragrance jump off the skin, but I don't pick it up as the essence, as that woody, you know, textury, almost ethereal. I don't pick it up like that. I pick it up as something added to, just to give it a little lift off the skin, and that's just the way I like my ISO-E Super. And once again, that is Montobaco, penned by Jayne and for Ormande Jayne. Great fragrance. And next we have one of my top 5 fragrances in my collection, and that's saying a lot. I promise you, it's saying a lot. This is Dusita, penned by Issara, and this is her brand, and she is the perfumer for her own brand. This fragrance is the most beautiful woody aromatic I put my nose on. This is elevated by a touch of tobacco and pine that I don't know how she formulated this to be so beautiful. It's an extracted perfume, so it sits close to the skin of about maybe a push of 12 inches or so. But anyone that comes into your scent bubble, the experience that you all are gathered in is phenomenal. This is her magnum opus, in my opinion. It's a sweet, woody aromatic with earthy tobacco nuances. Scent of the day, possibly. It's sweet, it's earthy, bourbon vetiver. It's, man, smell that. Herbaceous pine notes. You know, it has a phenomenal succulent coumarin, tonka bean like caramelized almonds, and a hay note. Now you may be familiar with the hay note in Chergui from Serge Lutens. That's a note that it's very similar, not dislike it, but it's too heavy in that fragrance for me. This one she did phenomenally right. This is a fragrance that I ask everyone to get their nose on. Try a sample from anywhere you can get it, just to get a base of reference of what a nicely done aromatic with tobacco can be. This is has a very mossy depth to it with some ambery, musky, balsamic wood accords. When Issara penned this and she put this to paper, it is a quite expensive perfume in her collection, but it's worth every penny. When I first got this, I wore it for 3 weeks straight, hence the dent in the bottle, and I've savored it and saved it ever since to try not to run out of the bottle. But this thing is very inviting, very alluring. It is a perfume collectors or perfume aficionados, high-end, next level fougere that I expect everyone and encourage everyone to get their nose on and try it out. Once again, that is Issara by Dusita, penned by Issara Ormande. Phenomenal fragrance. All right, that concludes my list of 5 next level fragrances that are woody aromatics. I hope everyone enjoyed the content. If you could hit the like button, subscribe button, all those things, it'll help my channel grow, get the word out. And I promise you the experience that I try to bring to this is going to be a fun one. We're going to have cigars.